There's news, there's sense, and there is nuisance. This show is all about that last bit. I'm Abhinandan standing in for our managing editor, Manisha Pandey, who is in the election-bound state of Jharkhand and will be bringing you ground reports and another election show. And all this, and she'll be going to Maharashtra as well, by the way. And all this is sponsored by you. Well, kind of, considering our Maharashtra and Jharkhand election coverage fund isn't topped up yet. So they've left, but if the budget allows, we'll bring them, Manisha, Atul and our reporters, we'll bring them back. Otherwise, guys, find employment there and stay there till we can afford to bring you home, your ghar wapsi.
ये तो सही नहीं है.
You can contribute to our ad-free, non-sponsored platform by scanning this QR code or clicking on the link in the show notes below. Go on, do it. Support independent journalism. It won't take long. I will tell you a joke in the meantime. News supported by government ads focuses on public interest journalism. Get it? Meanwhile, this guy was elected President of the United States of America. It was a spectacular comeback. Not only did Trump win the White House, Trump's party, as opposed to what used to be the Republican Party, won the House and the Senate. The Supreme Court was loaded in his favor anyway. So for the next 4 years, the world can see just how strong the so-called institutional framework of checks and balances in the world's oldest democracy really is. Now, a lot of people seem very concerned and alarmed actually that Trump, going by his campaign rhetoric, is a little unhinged and understandable. But bhai, we are used to watching Desi news. So for us, his unhinged nonsense is nothing. We are used to this.
हिंदुओं ने पलटा चुनाव, अमेरिका के नए राष्ट्रपति का ऐलान होते ही दुनिया में हड़कंप।
चलो, let me not be so cynical. अब रिपब्लिक भारत इतना reputed, respectable news organization है, कुछ सोच समझ के बोला होगा कि हिंदुओं ने चुनाव पलट दिया, तो I'm sure ताऊजी must have thanked them, नहीं? मतलब पॉपा के बड़े भाई ताऊजी है ना, तो ताऊजी की थैंक यू स्पीच सुनते हैं, जरूर उन्होंने थैंक यू बोला होगा हिंदू कम्युनिटी को.
Analysis of the people that voted for us. Nobody's ever seen anything like that. They came from all quarters, union, non-union, African American, Hispanic American, Asian American, Arab American, Muslim American. We had everybody and it was beautiful. It was a historic realignment, uniting citizens of all backgrounds around Arab American, Muslim American.
What, yeah? Arabs, Muslims, but no Hindus? क्या यार रिपब्लिक भारत, इतने एहसान फरामोश निकले ताऊजी. You must send them a strongly worded letter कि जिन्हें चुनाव पलटा, उन्हीं को थैंक यू नहीं बोल दिया, बाकी सबको बोल दिया. Very, very bad, very sad. I'm extremely hurt.
कुछ भी,
भाई कुछ भी. But Republic Bharat is not alone. Our fourth pillar of democracy, which demonstrates dissent so often, wants to link every victory to Modi. मतलब बेगानी शादी में अब्दुल्ला दीवाना कैसे बोल दिया? Can't. We have to change the proverb to something Hindu. So let's change it to बेगानी शादी में अब्दुल्ला. अब कोई हिंदू नाम बताओ. अभिनंदन दीवाना. That's right.
इसके साथ ही ट्रंप नरेंद्र मोदी के दोस्त भी हैं, उनके जबरदस्त फैन भी. अगर नरेंद्र मोदी के दोस्त डोनाल्ड ट्रंप ने अमेरिकी राष्ट्रपति का चुनाव जीत लिया तो वो इतिहास रच देंगे. जैसे नरेंद्र मोदी ने तीसरी बार प्रधानमंत्री का चुनाव जीतकर इतिहास रचा, वैसा ही एक दूसरा इतिहास डोनाल्ड ट्रंप रचेंगे. अक्टूबर में ट्रंप ने नरेंद्र मोदी के बारे में कहा था कि वो सबसे अच्छे इंसान हैं और वो उनके दोस्त हैं. इतना ही नहीं, डोनाल्ड ट्रंप ने तो पीएम मोदी के बारे में यह भी बता दिया था कि कैसे पीएम मोदी ने 56 इंच की छाती वाला जिगरा रखा. आएगा तो ट्रंप ही. पीएम मोदी के दोस्त ट्रंप अगर अमेरिकी राष्ट्रपति बने तो हिंदू और हिंदुस्तान का कितना फायदा है.
अब होगा हिंदुओं का राज, अमेरिका के नए राष्ट्रपति का ऐलान.
जी हाँ, इंडियन मीडिया की माने तो हिंदुओं का राज शुरू हो गया है अमेरिका में. As the white Christian man of German Irish descent is more Hindu than Kamala Harris, who is of Indian, Hindu, Jamaican descent. Now, victory for Trump means a big shift in the US's foreign policy and immigration policy. He has suggested reducing America's involvement in NATO, which would lessen NATO's collective security. On immigration, Trump has indicated that he would prioritize mass deportation. That's right. And his campaign also includes a commitment to end birthright citizenship for undocumented immigrants. This has been a cause of concern among immigrant communities, but especially हमारी देसी communities. It will impact us a lot, but doesn't matter. अभी खुशी मनाओ, but हटाओ ये सब. ये बताओ, अगर ये USA के चुनाव इंडिया में होते, तो कैसा लगता?
सोचिए, चुनाव अमेरिका में हो रहे हैं और शोर भारत में हो रहा है.
अबे यार, शोर तो तुम ही कर रहे हो और बोल रहे हो कि शोर भारत में हो रहा है. सबसे ज्यादा शोर रिपब्लिक भारत में हो रहा है. That is the reality.
प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जिस तरह से कैंपेन करते हैं, डोनाल्ड ट्रंप भी अगर भारत जैसे चुनाव होंगे तो ये तस्वीरें वायरल हैं सोशल मीडिया पर. देखिए, मोदी प्रचार कर रहे हैं, भारत की स्टाइल में ही ट्रंप प्रचार करेंगे, उसी तरह से कुर्ता पहने, गमछा डालकर, फूल उड़ रहे हैं और ट्रंप कैंपेन कर रहे हैं. बहरहाल ऐसा अमेरिका में होता नहीं है.
थैंक गॉड क्लियर करने के लिए कि ऐसा अमेरिका में होता नहीं है. एंड अगर वहां ऐसा नहीं होता तो भाई दिखा क्यों रहे हो यार?
ये ड्रीम गर्ल हेमा मालिनी की तस्वीर वायरल थी खेतों की. कमला हैरिस की ऐसी तस्वीर चल रही है सोशल मीडिया पर कि अगर भारत स्टाइल में चुनाव होंगे तो हो सकता है कमला हैरिस भी खेतों में मौजूद हो हसिया के साथ.
यार सोहेल, ये इलेक्शन है, फैंसी ड्रेस नहीं, जहां इंडियन स्टाइल में ये हो रहा है एंड इंडियन स्टाइल में वो हो रहा है. एंड इट्स अमेजिंग टू थिंक दैट एक न्यूज चैनल प्राइम टाइम पर an anchor is playing make-believe. See, when Elon Musk tweets to his followers on Twitter, one of the greatest playgrounds of nutters, fake news and trolls, that you are the media now. Hello Elon, you are very late to the party, dude. Legacy media in India died long time ago to be replaced by Twitter troll level nutters, except that they got a fancy studio to propagate their insanity in, and not just 240 characters or how many characters you allow. यहाँ तो एक प्राइम टाइम वाला कैरेक्टर है.
क्या राष्ट्रवाद की ये बड़ी आंधी है और ये राष्ट्रवाद का एक बड़ा ट्रंप कार्ड है और इसी राष्ट्रवाद के ट्रंप कार्ड पर पूरी दुनिया अब निर्भर है और राष्ट्रवादी ताकतों को इससे बल मिलेगा.
यानी भारत विरोधियों का बैड लक शुरू हो चुका है. ट्रंप नाम का गरम तवा आ चुका है, जिस गरम तवे पर इन भारत विरोधियों को आगे बैठना ही होगा बारी बारी से. तो ये पहले ही पॉपकॉर्न की तरह उछलने लगे और उन्हें उनकी बुरी हालत नजर आ रही है.
जब मोदी जैसी ट्रंप को जीत मिली है तो क्या खतरे में संविधान का ग्लोबल एजेंडा फ्लॉप होता नजर आ गया है?
There is this lobby, this poor little pathetic lobby, and reality has hit them in the face with the velocity of light.
और ये तस्वीर है प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी का AI है, आगे जलेबी रखी है, सामने ट्रंप है, दोनों भगवा में है. प्रधानमंत्री मोदी कह रहे हैं यार जीत कर आया है, जलेबी खिलाओ, जलेबी मंगाओ.
But the one who really took the cake was the gold standard of journalism, India Today, where Commando Gaurav Sawant, live on air, read out a parody account's tweet as Prime Minister Modi's. Strong statement, strong!
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said, have set up a call with my friend, President Donald Trump, to congratulate him on his historic win. That's a strong statement that comes from Prime Minister Narendra Modi moments after Donald Trump's spectacular victory. Heartiest congratulations, my friend, as you build on the success. The statement that's come from Donald Trump and Prime Minister Narendra Modi. I'm sorry, I've got that wrong. Go on, Nabila. Just.
Prime Minister Modi said.
Go on, Nabila. Yeah, Commando Gaurav. Two things. When you dig yourself into a hole, climb out yourself, yeah. After you realize your gold standard level blooper, just calm down and say, oh dear, I seem to have fallen victim to a parody account in the heat of getting you news first. Or own the mistake and apologize saying, yeah, I've messed up. Don't say, Nabila, please. You know, desi men, they get into shit and expect a woman to get them out every time. Disgraceful. And secondly, Modi ji should be insulted by your assumption that he would conduct foreign policy in this way, by tweeting this. By such an undiplomatic and needlessly provocative tweet. I think you assume foreign policy matters are dealt with at a government-to-government level, like you deal with news. I mean, they probably will soon be, with Trump in power, but not just yet. Abhi waqt hai. Now, there is a key difference between Prime Minister Modi and Donald Trump in how they are perceived by their own country's news media. See, in America, the big media networks like CBS, CNN, ABC and NBC are considered to be liberal left. They lean on the progressive side. Now, these networks throughout the election campaign have been very pro-Kamala Harris. So much so that according to a research done by the Media Research Center, since July, ABC, CBS and NBC have treated Democratic Vice President Kamala Harris to 78% positive coverage. Meanwhile, these same networks have pummeled Donald Trump with 85% negative coverage. That is a reality. It is also worth noting that most mainstream news channels did not question the Biden-Harris administration on their continued military support for Israel in the Gaza conflict, although they made some little comments, enough, bahut ho gaya, etc. But nothing substantial. And in the past 2 years, hardly any scrutiny was on the cognitive abilities of Joe Biden, whose age-related infirmities were pretty obvious. There was not much on that at all. Both were major issues in the run-up to the election, so much so that Biden had to actually drop out. Now, one more thing to note is that this research has not included Fox News, which has a huge viewership and is very, very pro-Trump in their coverage and considered conservative.
Trump doesn't tolerate disrespect. And as president, whether you like him or not, whether he makes you feel uncomfortable or not, that's the attitude you want in a leader. Someone who works for your vote and who doesn't allow the country to be disrespected. Might not look pretty, but it works.
15 days to go and Kamala momentum is in the toilet. VP Harris looking to Hollywood to rescue her stalled out campaign.
This is what Trump has done. Trump was there first. He endears this sense of confidence. He's going to fight for us.
Biden staring slack-jawed and confused while Trump pounded his points across was one thing. But when Trump paused, was disciplined, when his mic was muted, that's hard to beat. Trump didn't flinch an inch when Biden slandered him with hoaxes.
Now, also the lopsided coverage by networks like CBS, ABC and NBC has not gone unnoticed by Donald Trump. He has threatened networks which he believes to be critical of him.
ABC took a big hit last night. I mean, to be honest, they're a news organization. They have to be licensed to do it. They ought to take away their license for the way they did that.
NBC and CNN refused to air my victory speech, and frankly, they should have their licenses or whatever they have taken away. Now, what we're doing is we're going to subpoena their records. No, I think 60 Minutes, I think it should be taken off the air, frankly.
Trump has also said that there would be a crackdown on the media once he is back in power. Well, let's see.
The New York Times is one of the most dishonest of all. Wait till you see what I'm going to do with them. You're going to have so much fun.
But at least so far, these networks have not backed off. Late-night comedy shows and the liberal networks continue to be critical of Donald Trump. You see, here in India, we are used to everyone paltoing. And as soon as the government paltos, they also palto. Wahan ka bias is conviction wala bias. Yahan ka bias is coward wala bias. Yaun palte hain. Now, this biased coverage by the American media was not appreciated by our unbiased Arnab Goswami. He was like, aise kaise? Uncle Trump, here I come.
It is a battle between Donald Trump and the media. It's almost as if they are vested interest in this. And they are not even bothered about whether they need to be seen as neutral. In previous elections, the media was pretending to be neutral. The media has given up all pretensions of honesty, integrity, or loyalty to fact.
Very good point, brother Arnab. The media is not even trying to be neutral. The media has given up all pretensions of honesty, integrity, or loyalty to facts. Now help me remember, yaar. Where have I seen this before? Where could it be?
पूछता है भारत, nation wants to know. आप इतने relaxed कैसे रहते हैं? You are looking very fresh, very relaxed तो.
Nation wants to know. पूछता है भारत, प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जो 75 days की रिपोर्ट कार्ड हमारे सामने रखी, उसे हमें ऊर्जा मिली कि नहीं मिली? Did we all feel energized by that or not? Louder. finally, Modi ji, the nation looks forward to your leadership for many years and many decades to come. We wish you good health. The way you are working and the way you are traveling, we wish you absolutely the very best. And in 2 months, you are going to start your 3rd term.
Brother Arnab, your self-awareness level is at Trump's level. And knowing you might take it as a compliment. It's not. As Raj Kumar had said in one of my favorite film, Waqt, you know, I say it, जो शीशे के घर में रहते हैं वो दूसरों पर पत्थर नहीं फेंका करते. And as we at newslaundry say to everyone in general, जिनके चूल्हे सरकारी एड्स और बड़ी कॉरपोरेशन के एड से चलते हैं, वो उन पर पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट जर्नलिज्म की रोटियां नहीं सेकते. उसके लिए you need public funded news because when the public pays, the public is served. So please support our ad-free, non-sponsored journalism. You can scan this QR code or click on the link in the show notes below. Now, much of the mainstream news media like New York Times, Washington Post, CNN, MSNBC have always had a liberal bias, which means they have always traditionally supported Democrats. Meanwhile, media organizations like Fox News, the New York Post, LA Times have traditionally supported the Republicans or the conservative side. This time, you even had talk show hosts like Joe Rogan and Tucker Carlson support Trump. When it comes to media bias, of course it exists. It's obvious. And it has always existed, forever, especially in America. And they're pretty transparent about it. But the young child anchors in our Desi studios have suddenly discovered it today. But if there is an MSNBC, there is also Fox. And not to mention the huge number of individual shows, columnists, and podcasters. इसको कहते हैं institutional balance. In India, for every Republic Bharat, there is not an NDTV. There was one, but that is also gone. It has now the most boring shows on earth. Matlab, they'll kill you with boredom. Because neither can they be full combative, that ask questions to the government, nor can they go full insane like these guys. So, what do? Shows like Vishnu Shom's demonstrate, they can bore you to death. While the others were clueless, noisy, and entertaining, if you have poor taste in entertainment, NDTV's was just clueless. So don't expect no bias, but at least expect accuracy and a commitment to journalism. Newslaundry has done a podcast on objectivity in our podcast series, Let's Talk About. It's behind a paywall, so you'll have to subscribe with the link in the show notes. So subscribe, listen to it, so you can get an idea of what is objectivity and where to expect it. And with that final appeal, I will say goodbye with a promise that the Newslaundry and News Minute teams that are traveling in Jharkhand and Maharashtra will bring you ad-free, public interest, non-sponsored journalism. So don't forget to support them and tell your friends and family to do as well. Because if you don't, उनको वहीं छोड़ना पड़ेगा और उनकी घर वापसी फिर नहीं होगी. So I will say goodbye with the hope that you will subscribe and pay to keep news free. Until then, stay mad because that's the only way.